Okay, we are just now entering Calico Ghost Town. The RV will be camping here for the night, and I'll show you more after we check it. Okay, we are driving up to our campsite in Calico. Oh, there's all these caves. Look at this. This is a trip.
These are all old mines.
Oh, you can go into those. So I wonder if there's a shortcut that we can get up to the town, or if we have to park
Right up that
over
hill.
there. Ah.
If you want to climb that hill. Okay. She said right.
To the right.
There's that circle.
So, we just got here to Calico Ghost Town. We'll be staying here for one night, and we're just getting set up at our campsite, and then we'll be heading up into the ghost town to see what it's all about. Anyway, let me tell you a little bit about the campsite. They do have sites with electrical and water, as well as full hookup sites. They have another area in the campground where they allow you to bring your ATVs, so they have a noisy part of the campground, and then they have the quiet side. We chose to be on the quiet side, which is really pretty. It is pet friendly, so if you have a dog, this is a fantastic place to take them for wonderful walks through these hills. It's just really pretty through here. The Mojave Desert is usually pretty windy, so where we're located right now, we're in like a little nestled cove, so you're not getting all the wind down inside of this little campsite. Anyway, we seem to like it so far. There's not many people here, and they have a lot of camp sites. There's a huge campground that just meanders on. So I'm sure you can always find a site here. The rates are very reasonable. And again, we just like the simplicity of it and the fact that it's nice and quiet. When you go up to the Calico Ghost Town, you just drive up to the top if you don't want to walk, and there's a parking area up on top for you. Anyway, they have showers, they have restrooms, they have a dump station, and they've got fresh potable water. Really a great place. Well, we just got up here to Calico Ghost Town, and this place is really pretty neat. We're here on a weekday. There's not many people here. Some days they do bring up the tour buses and it gets really crowded. But they do have about 3 restaurants in here that you can eat. There's a little saloon where you can buy yourself beer or wine. Anyway, they have all kinds of different shops with a lot of Indian goods. They've got rock shops, they got souvenirs, they've just got all kinds of goodies. Candle shops. Anyway, there's really quite a few shops to browse through. This is really a pretty neat place. You could actually spend a whole day here. They have ice cream and a lot of goodies. So we're just wandering through town. They also have a train, which we're going to be taking a ride in just a little while. Anyway, we stopped at this Calico House restaurant, and they have a huge front porch that you could sit out there, and they have a bunch of rocking chairs where you can just sit, and we got ourselves a couple of cold beers and sat out there and just watched the people go by, and that was rather nice. We did that for a little while, and then as we were sitting there, we seen all of these huge birds walking all over the ground. We had no clue what they were, but they're you'll see a video of them here pretty quick. They're called chukars. And they're pretty good size. They're about 3 times the size of a quail. So we're sitting here drinking a beer. We're watching all these chukars running all over the place. So that was our entertainment for a little while. So let me give you a brief history of Calico. In March 1881, the town of Calico was bustling with prospectors searching for its mineral riches. Silver was king, and the Calico mining district became one of the richest in the state. Boasting boomtown status, Calico produced $86 million in silver and $45 million in borax. Peaking in population around 1887, it wasn't long before 22 saloons sprang up, including its own version of a Chinatown, a red light district, and a schoolhouse. Over 500 mines, including the legendary Silver King. Oriental and Bismarck were the engines that drove Calico's great wealth between the years of 1881 and 1907. Like most towns of the early West, when the price of silver dropped from $1.31 an ounce to 63 cents an ounce, Calico became a ghost of its former self. Today, Calico is one of the few remaining original mining towns in the western United States, thanks to Mr. Walter Knox, founder of Knoxbury Farm, who generously donated Calico to the county in 1996. The old town of Calico even had a mail dog, and his name was Dorsey the mail dog. In 1885, U.S. mail dog carrier Dorsey had a 3-mile route that led him up and down the mountain from Calico to Bismarck. A special mail bag and leather booties were custom made for Dorsey. Dorsey retired in 1886 and was given to the Bismarck mine owner and later moved to San Francisco. The Border Collie has been memorialized by both Kenny Rogers in a 1972 song and by Walt Disney in a TV movie in 1974. So Calico also operates as a county regional park, and Calico does offer annual events. You can go to parks.sbcounty.gov/events to see what's going on in Calico during the year. And they do have year-round camping. And if you like to camp, the narrow canyons below town offer both RV and tent campgrounds. And they also offer off-highway vehicle camping with restrooms and showers. Admission into Calico Ghost Town is included with camping, and they also have a mini bunkhouse that sleeps 6, 10 cabins each sleeps 4, and a large bunkhouse that sleeps 20. And they're available and equipped with bunk beds, heat, and air conditioning. On the bunkhouses, no pets are allowed. Anyway, we stopped here in this little saloon, which was one of the original saloons, and it was really just totally neat. We did get a cold beer here, but if you look all around the saloon, they have all of these original oil paintings, and they were done by one artist, and they are all the gunslingers of the West, and they're from actual portraits and actual sittings with the gunslingers of the West. So we found it really to be quite fascinating. And we had just got done seeing the movie Tombstone, so it was even a lot more fun to see a lot of the guys that were in Tombstone, the gunslingers, and the portraits are absolutely gorgeous. Now where Calico gets really fascinating as you go deeper into the town, you'll notice that there's a lot of cliff dwellings, and it looks like the miners were building their homes right into the cliffs. And some of these homes are built out of mud and stone and brick, and it's just amazing the dwellings that they have here. So they have these meandering trails that you can just walk through the mountain areas, and you can look into all of these different dwellings that the miners lived in. Now this one appears really cool, and this one's made with bottles. And if you look past that, you can see some of the cliff dwellings that were right in the rocks. You can wander around these hills for quite a while, and there's just a lot to see. It's really pretty cool. We had fun through this area here. There's also a mining tour where you can tour into one of the mines. And again, they have the train ride, which we did go on. And the train ride was $5 a person. And it's really a nice little train, and it gives you quite a bit of history. And it was really a lot of fun. So you can just, like I said, meander through all of these rocky areas, and it's just so cool to see these cliff dwellings. So they do still have a few of the original buildings remaining here in Calico. The Calico Park Office, the Lane's General Store, Lil Saloon, where we walked through and they had all the paintings of the gunslingers, Lucy Lane's house, and Zenda's Mining Company. Those are still some of the original buildings. Another thing that's interesting, in 1887, they had a population of 1,200 people that lived here. And then in 1888, it started dwindling. It went down to 500. In 89, they had 800 people. And in 1890, they went down to 80. And then in 1893, it sparked back up to 300 people. And then in 1951, they only had 10 people living in town. Then in 2001, 8 people actually lived in town. So it's kind of interesting to see how the population has kind of gone up and down depending on how the mining was going. So me and Ron have been wandering around these hills. Anyway, here comes Ron, and I'm going to kidnap him and take him on a train ride.
Miners from Calico's 80. I'd like to welcome you aboard the Calico and Odessa Railroad.
Howdy there, folks. You all please stay seated as we take a ride together along the back country of Old Calico. As we go around this first curve, notice the miners' cabins built along the canyon walls. This food is there here. They were ideal for protecting us from the hot summers and cool winters here in Calico.
Exactly the kind of mining we did around here. The rock is so hard, we didn't have any water to use for mining, so we had to pack and blast away at the rock.
During some years, Calico's 10 square mile mining district boasted a population of nearly 2,000, with almost 1,000 actually living in the town side of Calico. After the mining ended, Calico really was a ghost town. That's to say, it was mainly abandoned. But it was restored and reconstructed by the Knott family in the 1950s. Back then, migrant workers actually lived here. These folks served the role of security for the town, a tradition that continues to this day.
Around this next curve, to the left of the engine, and notice the pile of rocks painted white with a white marker on top. This is an example of what the water mining look like. We use them on all 4 corners of our claims to alert everyone that they may be trespassing and to remind claim jumpers to stay away. Remember how those traces of silver were discovered right on the ground in the spring of 1881. Calico's silver rush was on. Miners came from all over, including well-known towns such as Virginia City, Loading, and Tombstone, Arizona. still one surviving wall out there. It's outlined in white.
Look at
Beyond
that.
the mountain to the northeast was East Calico, where among others, big Bismarck mine was. There was a little community out there with a store and a salon.
Oh, there's the
The
white
Stacy
rocks.
brothers carried mail the mile and a half between Bismarck and Calico, even training their dog Dorsey to do it for them.
I remember that. They strapped a saddlebag right on his back so he could carry the mail and packages.
As we pause here, take a look at the top of King Mountain, where your engineer is now pointing. Look at the last letter in Calico and run your eyes down about 300 feet and a little to the right, and you should see a mine entrance in the side of the mountain.
Oh, I see
This
it.
is a tunnel for the Silver King mine, one of the richest and largest mines in the Calico mining history.
Oh, that's that one right there,
$10
that
million
hole.
in silver in about 11 years. There were about 30 miles of tunnels on 14 different levels inside that mountain, belonging to several different mines. The only mine that is open daily for guests to safely go into themselves is the Maggie Mine. Just below the Silver King, there appears to be just an ordinary pile of rocks. Actually, that is remnants of the Silver King mine itself. Not long ago, that pile of rocks was assayed to contain a few million in silver. But before you jump out of the train and climb the hill to fill your pockets, I should tell you that it would take millions more just to process that silver. So that would
The train ride was a fantastic way to wrap up our day in Calico. Back at our campsite, the sun started setting, and I made some delicious homemade enchiladas for dinner that night, and we watched the sun go down, and it ended up being a really nice stop here at Calico, and we really enjoyed the ghost town. You've been road trekking with Roan Low. We're here in the Mojave Desert, and I hope you enjoyed our adventure. And if you did, please do subscribe, and that way you can be notified when we place new content. Have a great day and happy RVing.